The first time I opened my garage door, it was to unload groceries. The second time, it was to find a police cruiser parked in my driveway. The third time, I was met with flashing lights, a 911 call, and a woman screaming that I'd stolen her. Brand new Tesla. Her name was Diane Holloway, HOA president, self-appointed neighborhood enforcer, and now my personal nightmare. She claimed the car in my garage was hers, bought just hours before. But there was one problem. The VIN didn't match. The license didn't match. And the car had been mine for 2 years. What she didn't know was that I'd already started digging, and what I found would unravel her entire empire of lies. Ethan Cole moved into Cypress Ridge Estates with a promise, a fresh start. After years in a cramped city apartment, the 2-story craftsman with a double garage and a koi pond in the backyard felt like a dream. The HOA fee was steep, $425 a month, but the brochure promised security, serenity, and community. The first week was perfect. He unpacked, planted lavender along the walkway, and even waved at his next-door neighbor, a sharp-eyed woman in a pastel tracksuit who stared from behind her hedge. That was Diane Holloway, president of the HOA. She sent him a welcome packet and a violation notice for unapproved mulch color. "It has to be cedar, not pine," she said, over email. "We maintain standards." Ethan rolled his eyes but complied. He didn't want trouble. He just wanted peace. He parked his sleek black Tesla Model 3 in the garage, covered it with a protective tarp, and went to bed. The next morning, he opened the garage to leave for work. That's when the screaming started. Diane was at the edge of his driveway, phone in hand, face twisted in fury. "That's my car!" she shrieked. "You stole it! I just bought it yesterday!" Ethan froze. "That's my car. I've had it for 2 years." "You're a thief," she yelled, dialing 911 on speaker. "I want him arrested now." The dispatcher asked for calm. Ethan showed his registration on his phone. Diane refused to listen. "Garage doors are to be kept closed between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m., she snapped. "You violated Rule 4.7. As the police cruiser pulled up, Ethan realized this wasn't about a car. It was about control, and Diane Holloway wasn't done. Officer Ruiz arrived, hand near his belt, eyes scanning. Ethan calmly handed over his ID and Tesla registration. Diane stood rigid, arms crossed, repeating, "He stole my car. I saw the receipt. It's mine." Ruiz checked the VIN. "This matches Mr. Cole's registration." "He must have switched the plate," Diane snapped, "or cloned the key." "There's no evidence of that," Ruiz said. "Sir, you're free to go." Diane's face turned crimson. "This is my neighborhood. I decide what's allowed." Ethan said nothing. He drove off, but the damage was done. By noon, a second violation notice was slipped under his door. Unauthorized vehicle access during restricted hours, $150 fine. He appealed. The HOA board, all 5 members, voted to uphold it. Then came the email. "Future violations may result in lien placement or legal action." Ethan started digging. He requested HOA meeting minutes, financial reports, and rule enforcement logs. What he found was chilling. Over the past 3 years, Diane had issued over 120 fines, mostly to new residents. 8 had sold their homes and left. She'd also approved a landscaping beautification fund, $80,000 spent on a single contractor, her brother-in-law's company. And the Tesla? Diane had bought one, but it was red, not black. And it was registered to a P.O. box in another state. Why lie about his car? Then it hit him. His garage faced the street. Hers didn't. She couldn't see her own Tesla from her house, but she could see his. And she wanted it gone. Not because it was hers, but because it challenged her authority. A new resident, a quiet man living by his own rules, unacceptable. The war escalated fast. First, a noise complaint. 3 a.m., loud music. Ethan had been asleep, The report was filed at 2:58 a.m. Then, a hazardous overgrowth citation for a single ivy vine near the fence. Next, a drone flew over his backyard. At dawn, filming. It bore the HOA logo. Ethan filed a privacy complaint. The board dismissed it. HOA has right to monitor common area encroachments. But the worst came on a rainy Thursday. He returned home to find yellow tape around his koi pond. Water feature violates Section 8.3. Attraction to pests and unauthorized irrigation, read the notice. You have 48 hours to drain and dismantle. Ethan called the city. His pond was permitted. Legal. He sent proof to the HOA. No response. Instead, a crew showed up the next day, shovels and pumps ready. Diane stood by, arms folded. Compliance is mandatory. Ethan blocked the gate. You don't have the authority. Contempt of HOA order, she said, filming on her phone. That's a $500 fine. Neighbors watched from windows. No one spoke. That night, Ethan uploaded everything, fines, emails, footage, to a private neighborhood forum. One by one, responses poured in. I got fined for painting my door navy instead of beige. They made me tear out my vegetable garden. My dog was reported for barking during a thunderstorm. A pattern emerged. Diane wasn't enforcing rules. She was weaponizing them, and Ethan wasn't the first target, but he might be the last. He dug deeper, pulled property records, and found something explosive. At the next HOA meeting, Ethan stood up. I'd like to present evidence of financial misconduct. Diane's smile froze. He played a video. Her brother-in-law's company billing the HOA $18,000 for driveway sealing. But the work was never done. Then, bank records. $12,000 transferred to a shell LLC named Cypress Holdings. Traced back to Diane's husband. Gasps filled the room. You're accusing the president of theft? Someone said. I'm presenting facts, Ethan said. And there's more. He revealed the Tesla lie. Showed side-by-side photos. His black. Model 3, her red one. Clearly different. She called 911 over a car she never saw in my garage until she created the conflict. Diane stood. This man is unstable. He's trying to destabilize our community. But the room was turning. Then, an elderly woman stood. I was fined $200 for hanging a wind chime. I'm 82. I live alone. Another. They charged me $300 to repaint my mailbox after a storm. Voices rose. Accusations flew. Diane stormed out. The board called for a special election. But the next day, Ethan's garage was broken into. His Tesla scratched. Tires slashed. Security footage showed a figure in a hoodie, but the face was blurred, except for one detail, a silver D pendant, Diane's signature necklace. He reported it, filed for a restraining order, and waited. The real showdown was coming. The twist came from an unexpected source. Diane's gardener, a quiet man named Luis, who'd worked for her for 5 years. He slipped Ethan a USB drive. Saw what they did to your car, he said. It's not right. The files were damning. Internal. Emails between Diane and her brother-in-law. Keep the fines coming. Make them sell. Texts. New guy's a problem. Need to break him. And a spreadsheet. Target list. Ethan's name. The elderly woman with the wind chime. A single mom fined for excessive toy clutter in her yard. The goal? Force them out. Buy their homes cheap. Flip them. Diane's husband was a real estate agent. They were profiting off fear. But the biggest bombshell? The red Tesla wasn't. Fully paid. Lease records showed it was repossessed 2 weeks ago, but Diane never disclosed it. She knew she didn't have a car, so when she saw Ethan's black Tesla, identical model, she invented the theft to humiliate him. To assert dominance. Luis also gave Ethan a key card for the HOA's private server room. Inside, Ethan found encrypted backups. He cracked them. More fraud. Fake bids, inflated invoices, and a secret. The HOA had no legal authority to fine for garage door hours. That rule was never voted in. Diane made it up. He had everything: audio, video, documents. Now, it wasn't just about his car, it was about justice for everyone she'd crushed. He scheduled a press conference and sent the evidence to the state HOA regulator. Diane was about to learn a hard truth. When you bully the quiet ones, sometimes they don't break. They fight back. The town hall was packed. Local news, residents, even a state investigator. Diane sat in the front, smug, until Ethan took the stage. He played the video, her calling 911 over his car. Then, the fake rule, the financial fraud, the target list. Luis stepped forward, confirming the break-in. The gardener's testimony broke her. "You used me," he said. "You used us all." The crowd turned. Diane stood, trembling. "I did it for the neighborhood." "For your profit," Ethan said. "Not ours." The investigator stood. "We're launching a formal inquiry. Assets may be frozen." Diane was suspended on the spot. The board voted to void all fines issued under her rule. Refunds were promised. The next day, a repossession crew arrived. Not for Ethan's car, for Diane's red Tesla. Towed from her driveway, license plate dangling, she screamed, "You can't do this!" "It's not paid," the agent said, "and you falsified income on the lease." Her husband was under investigation. Her brother-in-law banned from HOA contracts. And the HOA board? All 5 members resigned. New elections were called. Ethan was asked to run. He declined, but he did something better. 3 months later, Cypress Ridge changed. The koi pond stayed. The lavender bloomed. And the garage door, open every morning, in peaceful defiance. A new HOA board was elected, diverse, transparent, accountable. They repealed the fake rules. Hired an independent auditor. Monthly meetings were live-streamed. Ethan didn't seek revenge, he sought reform. He helped create a resident review panel so no one could be fined without oversight. The elderly woman rehung her one chime. The single mom painted her mailbox rainbow. And the neighborhood? It breathed again. One evening, Diane's house went on the market. "Price reduced," the sign said. She left without a word. No farewell, no apology, just silence. Ethan watched the sold sign go up. Not with triumph, but peace. Justice wasn't about crushing her. It was about restoring balance. Now, when he opened his garage, it wasn't with fear. It was with freedom. And when neighbors waved, it was with respect. The Tesla sat gleaming, not as a target, but as a symbol of truth, of courage, of one man who refused to be silenced. And in the quiet hum of the electric engine, there was a message. In every neighborhood, there's a line. Cross it and face the consequences. This wasn't just about a car. It was about dignity. And in the end, dignity won.